The Germans commence what could be their final push. This is my first attempt at beating the scenario probing Puy, I believe it's pronounced. As you can see, we may rely on a reasonably sized contingent of tanks, although we'll have to wait a few turns for them to arrive as reinforcements. The Germans, on the other hand, have no tanks among their forces but have some armoured vehicles that will be at their disposal sooner. Both sides have roughly the same number of infantry squads. We have here a small village nestled among some wooded hills, from which the Americans and the Germans will soon be descending to claim the objective, the village's central church. It appears that there are friendly vehicles on the village's outskirts already, and they are stuck. Fortunately for us, the infantry they were carrying are not stuck, and the village's church is within their reach this turn. After much deliberation, I have come to the conclusion that taking the objective is a good idea. And they're off. The Germans exhibiting some impressive synchronized driving there. I've read that the AI has problems with using infantry transport, often opting to disembark all infantry at the edge of the map. But I haven't noticed anything like that so far. It typically drives the infantry reasonably close to the action. If anything, it might be a bit too daring at times. Also, consider this example as a lesson not to squander your bazooka rounds on futile shots. You can quickly run out, leaving you with one fewer AT weapon to keep the enemy armor at bay. Stunning the enemy armored vehicles can be quite satisfying, but it's not terribly useful. In the current case, the enemy is overwhelming our defenders with armored vehicles before pushing towards the church with infantry. Our lone half squad defending the church is fast becoming surrounded by the enemy. Stunning the enemy vehicles at least provides us with a chance to push across the road with our own infantry to hopefully reinforce the defense of the church. Our reinforcements have arrived. They are not able to reach the action just yet, as they have to first descend the winding road to the village. Except for the self-propelled howitzer, which has claimed an overlooking position on the hill and is ready to rain down wrath on the Germans in the village below. The M8 is already demonstrating its value by easing the pressure on the defenders significantly. A full squad of our infantry reached the church, strengthening our hold on the objective. The German infantry are steadily closing on the church, and one half squad even tries to storm it, without success. Our stewards have finally reached the village and joined the fray. But then calamity. A hail of bullets from the assaulting Germans causes our soldiers in the church to break. Most of our infantry quickly suppress any Germans covering the road that separates our infantry from the church. The remaining infantry then make another push towards the church. Unfortunately, the Germans are primed to repulse our latest push as soon as it reaches the church. This leaves the objective vacant, and the Germans move in and occupy it. Also, in a move that I can only assume was made in desperation, they send an elite squad into almost certain death. Our trusty stewards are ready to chuck the Germans out of the church. After some back and forth struggling, the objective is back in American hands. The Germans received some badly needed reinforcements. Our self-propelled howitzer will not rest until that German squad has had it. Traffic congestion seems to be slowing the Germans down, with quite a tailback forming on the road into the village. The enemy position their armored vehicles and unleash a barrage in preparation for an infantry advance. The Germans commence what could be their final push. The Americans take notice of the incoming fire and reply in kind. The Germans' audacious advance has presented the Americans with a target-rich environment. Amid intense fighting over the church, a group of newcomers arrive on the road that leads to the village. The Germans are unwilling to call it quits just yet. They really let that one poor Stuart know what they think of it. Once again, the objective is left vacant after an American rout. Will the Germans be able to capitalize on it? The M4 Shermans only barely reached the village in the closing moments of the battle. And thus ends the scenario.